cyber briefing for Thursday, the 30th of May. I'm Stephen Ridgway. There's been a surge in malware being distributed via phishing attacks on Discord. 50,000 malicious links being spread, and it's the US that's mostly targeted, but other countries, including France, Romania, UK, and Germany, have been hit as well. So, an example of this is fake offers of Discord Nitro. Nitro being the premium subscription service, if you weren't aware. Promises of free upgrades and so on and so forth. You follow the links and it takes you to malware. In this particular case, there's some concerns about pure crypto malware, amongst other things, I'm sure. So, as always, if you are offered something that looks too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. So the recommendations in the article from Hackreed are be wary of free offers. Yep, makes sense. Enable 2FA. Well, yeah, that is definitely a good thing to do anyway. It does mean that taking over your account is harder. Use antivirus software. Yes. Can't really argue with that one. And report any suspicious activity. So Discord's support team are looking to get on top of this, so information that you can provide them may be helpful if you are using Discord. Looks like there's been a breach from Ticketmaster. Although it's not explicitly stated in the article in the Register, it is quite likely to have been a breach of global data. 560 million people's information has popped up for sale. And it's popped up for sale on the newly relaunched Breach Forums. So Breach Forums was taken down by law enforcement. Unsurprisingly, the people behind it, who don't appear to have been caught, have just spun it up somewhere else. It is, from the point of view of data sales, it's a bargain. However, there's no confirmation that the data is actually real at the moment. Although the Australian Department of Home Affairs is looking into this and has sent out a communique basically saying that they're aware of a cyber incident impacting Ticketmaster, and that they're working with Ticketmaster to understand the incident. So if you've got if you use Ticketmaster, which a lot of people have, then just be aware that your data may have been swept up in this data breach. Usual mitigations would be good. Keep an eye on bank accounts for fraudulent evidence of fraudulent activity. Change passwords. As always, use unique passwords for all your services and apply 2FA or MFA of some sort to everything that can have MFA applied to it. And on the subject of credentials leaking, Okta is warning that a customer identity cloud feature is being targeted in credential stuffing attacks. So credential stuffing attacks are the outcome of credential leaks during breaches. So once a criminal group has got hold of large quantities of user data, especially if they can get usernames and passwords, you just then just you choose your target, and then basically try on as many of those as you can until you find something that works. So very very from a customer perspective, very untargeted. From a victim organization perspective, they're going to try an awful lot of usernames, accounts against your system. So in this particular case, Okta being a leading identity and access management company, which one of the bigger players in this space, used by a lot of top tier organisations, but it doesn't price itself only at that level. So it does get found in more mid tier organisations as well. Good solutions from Okta. It offers single sign-on, multi-factor authentication. It can act as your directory for users. It's got sort of API management, access, lifecycle management. It's fully featured. It has determined, however, Okta has determined that a feature in the customer identity cloud is prone to be targeted by threat actors using credential stuffing attacks. So there is some good information in the article. It's a Bleeping Computer article. There are ways that you can identify indicators of attacks. Certain things for to look for in the logs, and also if you don't need particular features, it talks about which features you may wish to disable from your Okta account, but most notably cross-origin authentication needs to be disabled, unless you're using it, of course, which is a different matter. So, worth having a read if you are using Okta, as many organisations are. Have a little read of this and just check that check whether you are potentially vulnerable to this, and if you are vulnerable, look at the mitigations that are recommended. So on other matters, one of my favourite websites is the Internet Archive. So you probably know the Internet Archive by one of its tools, which is known as the Wayback Machine. It basically has been taking snapshots of a vast number of websites for a seriously long time. So if you ever wanted to know what a website used to look like, or if there was that really good bit of information that you can't get anymore because the website's gone or changed or whatever it is, you may well be able to find it using the Wayback Machine. Internet Archive does other things as well. It's got it has digital versions of books, and a certain amount of, I think, music is there as well. They're having a bad time at the moment. You may be aware that there's a battle going on between some of the world's largest publishers and the owners of the Internet Archive over whether there are royalties due on some of the information which is held in the Internet Archive. That's going to be expensive for them to defend. So that's not good. In the meantime, they are being hit by a DDoS storm at the moment. So Not entirely sure what any of us can do with this. Hopefully, those two things aren't linked. I mean, we'd like to think that some of the world's largest publishers are not in any way supporting the DDoS of the Internet Archive. I'm sure they aren't, but you know, timings of these things are always very interesting. If I guess it's a one of those organisations where if you care about this sort of stuff, you may wish to provide them some support, financial or otherwise, with these in these situations. But yeah, I think if you're having trouble using the Wayback Machine or other parts of the Internet Archive at the moment, well, that's because it's under an absolutely massive sustained DDoS attack at the moment. And hopefully, those of us that use it for the good of the internet will not have this particular resource pulled from us. And then finally, from me today, there's information been released that shows a 400% increase in MOT data breaches, which is raising questions around the UK's preparations for defence against Russia and Chinese threat actors. Various things that are kicking around. Of course, obviously, the UK political parties have decided to use it as a for this information for their own electioneering propaganda. So Labour's criticising Conservatives for a lack approach to cybersecurity, blah blah blah, promising moons on sticks and all sorts of other things. Nobody's going to come out of it looking good because just they aren't. The government has no ability to make any difference to any of this stuff anyway. But yeah, the MOD has always been a target because very clearly the information held by the MOD would be, a lot of it will be sensitive or confidential, and a lot of it will be very helpful to enemies of the state. So yeah, the information that they're particularly worried about, well, actually, there's all sorts of things. We've had payroll information lost via third parties and so on and so forth. But it just does go to show that whilst we all may be feeling a little jaded with this whole "yes, they really are attacking us" stuff, but the fact we're jaded with it doesn't mean it isn't going on. Well, that is the end for today. Do you know what? I nearly thought it was Friday then. I was about to say have a good weekend. No, that's tomorrow. So hope you have a good day.